Wouldn't it be great to have a family as responsible as this? It doesn't take ages to train, or days, or even hours. In fact, you can make anyone responsible in about 30 minutes or less. All you have to decide now is how to spend all that time you just saved. I'm sure you'll think of something. Responsibility. It's what's for dinner. Live from PND Studios, it's This Week Live with Rocky Red Panda. This week, the good, the bad, and the special guest Lerod. Artist of the Week, Sergey. And PND Studio Updates. Here's your host, Rocky Red Panda. Welcome to This Week Live. I am your host, Rocky Red Panda. It is the week of December the 13th, 2020. Happy Hanukkah out there for those who celebrate it. I think we're in the 4th day of Hanukkah. Or as they say, let's keep the Han in Hanukkah. It's the one holiday year where it's okay to gamble. I got shit! Give me all your coins. Or as they say on the Rugrats Hanukkah special, you make pancakes for Hanukkah? Yes, it's clogged by people's arteries for over 2,000 years, but we survived. 8 crazy nights. We are on day 4, like I mentioned earlier, or as Americans call it, 4 crazy years. I give up. Come on, folks, it's almost over. We need to shine a light on what's left of 2020, toss it into a rubbish bin, and welcome 2021 with open arms. Yes, I said open arms. No, not you, Karen with a gun. Not that kind of open arms. No. But before we do all this fun stuff, let's jump straight into this week's The Good, The Bad, and The That's where we poke fun at some of this week's news. And yes, all politics are on the table. Yes, I got my card right here. Eventually, these will be professionally made. Then it would make things a lot more easier. So, let's talk about the good. We got a vaccine. Great. Fantastic. The bad, well, we'll talk about everything else. So, before we start, I swear you guys love when I toss the cards and sound effects. Let's go ahead and let's talk politics. Yes, old Mr. Rotten Orange. Trump called the governor of Georgia a few days ago, pressuring him to overturn the state's win for Biden. I think the only thing you'll be overturning is your turkey pardons from the past presidents. Oh, Thanksgiving's ended. Well, at least you're going to still try. Gobble gobble, Mr. President. Also, speaking about Georgia, too many slimy peaches. I swear, Georgia House Speaker moves against election officials. Listen to this. Republican House Speaker David Ralston said Thursday that he will seek a state constitutional amendment to change how Georgia's Secretary of State is chosen. Of course you will. And we all know it's not going to pass, much like a lot of other lawsuits that the Trump campaign has been trying to file. It will be gone with the wind. Miss Scarlett, they want to change Georgia, and HBO Max removed our films. Frankly, my dear. However, a big loss to Trump. DACA must be reinstated. Yes, judge orders government to fully reinstate the DACA program. I wonder how Hispanics feel about this. They are belated, much like that wall Trump is still trying to build. They'll get over it eventually. Now talk about shocking. Trump wants the names of the 25 Republicans who say he lost the race and Biden won. In the process, he called one of my favorite newspapers I read, the Washington Post, fake news. I wonder why there isn't any Washington Post available in my area. Also, it's gone with the wind. Miss Scarlett, the Washington Post is missing. Frankly, my dear. While on the topic of 25, 88% of Republican voters stated they don't believe Trump lost. And get this, they're willing to go to war for Donald Trump to defend his presidency. Much like Arizona said recently on their Twitter page, are you willing to die to overturn the President Trump's election loss? In other words, are you willing to start a third civil war and go to war for the president to take back the White House? Miss Scarlett, the Republicans are coming! The Republicans are coming! Yes, ma'am. They are fully armed and ready to attack. Frankly, my dear. Oh, heck, get my red butler. And by red butler, I mean democratic freedoms, not my gun. Get my gun. I gotta defend terror. But moving back to Pennsylvania, the Supreme Court refuses to invalidate Pennsylvania's mail-in votes in major rebuke of the president. However, also in Pennsylvania and in all these other states, because there are 7, 8, I lost track of the number now. This was just in as of a few days ago. The lawsuit, which was filed by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, was tossed out by the Supreme Court. Welcome to the United States of Texas, where no other state matters but its own. That means the Lone Star State, Texas, and Chuck Norris is king, or what we call a confederation of states. Hey, look, I think I can hear Dixie playing in the distance. No, my bad. That was a Dixie cup gone with the wind. Miss Scarlett, something mighty funny's happening down in Texas. Frankly, my dear, look away, Dixieland. Oh my, you guys are funny. Yesterday, we reached an important milestone. All 50 states and D.C. have now certified their presidential election results. This Week Live is ready to predict that Joe Biden has won the 2020 presidential election 5 weeks ago. Oh boy, yes. This will be the 10th time that they announced it. No matter how many lawsuits are tossed out by the Supreme Courts, Trump cannot win. And also, you get a free cup of coffee for getting the most number of points in the electoral votes for each state. Oh, my bad. It's expired, much like Trump's presidency. I can hear those moving vans packing up. Oh, wait, no, that was my stomach just saying, "Feed me, Seymour." Oh, my goodness. With all the politics happening out there, we have to talk about this gambling habit. No, not that gambling habit, but it's COVID-19 time, baby. Yes, those numbers. The risky numbers. We gotta play with those numbers. Let's see what we're up to. We're up to 223,570 new cases of COVID. And as of 12/11/20 at 12 a.m., 12,745 additional positive cases of COVID-19 in the state of Pennsylvania. That's just a single day, folks. It's getting bad out there. Real bad. No. No. I mean bad. Not bad like the day your in-laws come to spend Christmas with you over the holidays, but worse. You know when you start cooking a meal and using cheese, and then you find out it's processed government cheese issued, and it's not the real deal? Yeah, that bad. I thought this was cheddar. Instead, it's like Velveeta. You're fired. As of a few days ago, however, the FDA did approve the Pfizer vaccine for emergency use. So, yes, that's a good thing. The first country to get it, however, was jolly old England, where we have a video. Take a look. She took it like a queen, or as they say in Spamalot, it's just a flesh wound. But we'll get it soon, folks. We'll get it soon. But during all of this, the Pennsylvania state governor, Wolf, tests positive for COVID-19. But wait. As of yesterday, tests negative after the initial diagnosis. Well, that's a good thing. We here at This Week Live are wishing you a swift recovery, Mr. Governor of Pennsylvania. But however, speaking of Wolf, PA announces new restrictions, and people are not happy. Until January the 4th, no indoor dining, takeout delivery, no indoor dining. You're allowed to do takeout delivery, you're allowed to do pickup, and you're allowed to do outside dining. So that's going to be hurting a lot of restaurants. All winter sports, minus major and college, canceled. Extracurricular activities, canceled. No movie theaters, gyms, bowling, museums, canceled. You're not allowed to gather in groups of more than 10 people. So, we have that going. I don't need to go any further. So the day before the new restrictions were to go into place, people flocked to restaurants to savor their last meals. It's like it's Armageddon, it's the end of the world. It was busy. It was packed. Let me tell you that. It was packed. I mean, what did Jesus do right before his Last Supper? Everybody get to one side of the table if you want to be in the picture, and make sure you're social distance and wear your mask. Restaurant workers react to Pennsylvania's new COVID-19 restrictions, in part saying it's going to be reduced staff, reduced hours. It's not going to be fun. And the first reaction was almost kind of a sense of relief in regards to keeping our staff safe. So people and restaurant owners and small business owners, they understand that this is going to hurt small businesses and businesses, but at the same time, they understand the need to shut down and the need to make sure the numbers go down because they're going up. They want their family, they want their staff, and their friends to be safe. And I completely understand that because this is something we need. Here's where my joke and fun times end, however. I am going to include a new segment called Say What? The best place to find the greatest news is on social media. Right? And that's also where all the Karens and Steves come out to play. So let's see here. I handpicked a few comments based on what's happening out there. I will not mention any names, but I'm going to go ahead and read some. So sit back. So let's go ahead and read the first one here. Someone needs to explain to Governor Tom Wolf that gyms are not where this virus is being spread. Think about it. Who is beating it? Not succumbing to it? Healthy people. Where do you find people trying to stay healthy? That's right, at gyms. So, okay, let's break this down, people. People don't get sick by going to the gym, and they go to the gym to stay healthy. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that what doctors and hospitals are for? Also, you can stay healthy at home by putting in your favorite VHS or DVD of your exercise, much like Trumper size. You stay fit all without having to go to the gym. Or you got your Peloton or whatever. You can do this at home. You don't need to go out to the gym to stay fit. Stop listening to the government. It's your right. That's like saying stop listening to science. It's against religion. Right, and we never went to the moon. The earth is flat, and the end is nigh. I think we have time for one more. One more? You guys? One more? Alright, let's do this. This is the last one. I wish our lovely citizens in the legal field would step up and take this nonsense head on for the people of this state once and for all. We are basically begging you at this point. It's your time to shine. No one's begging anyone to do anything when our governor is doing his job. Now, what do I think about all of this and what's happening? I'm going to give my 2 cents. I think that if we follow through his orders, we will get through this together. And January the 4th is just around the corner. Now, instead of complaining, act like adults and do your part. Be a role model for your kids instead of insulting others. This isn't high school, and if you haven't grown up yet, it's time to do so now. Put on those big boy pants, put on those big girl pants, and grow up, folks. We need to support our local economy by taking out food and doing our part. Instead of presenting that it isn't happening. There's no COVID. We don't need to shut down. Honey, I have some news for you. It is. You can't just make it magically disappear. Pretend that's not in the news that people stop talking about it. Oh, it's going to be there. Just because people stop talking about it and you want it to be off the news doesn't make it go away. It doesn't work like that. I witnessed too many deaths this year. 4 that I know of so far. Actually 5. And I don't want to witness another. Until you've actually seen someone on an event, then you have don't talk. Please. Don't talk. Let's all gather together and be Pennsylvania and Maryland strong, or strong in whatever state you are. That's hashtag Pennsylvania strong. That's hashtag Maryland strong. That's hashtag whatever state strong. Together we will fight and we will win over this virus. So we got a great show for you this week. We have special guest Lerod and Artist of the Week Sergey after this commercial break. So stick around, folks. Hey there, folks. This is Rocky Red Panda, your host of This Week Live, PND Studios, and illustrator at Panda Numeric Designs. Are you looking to get official This Week Live, PND Studio, and Panda Numeric Design merchandise? That's right. Go to my website at pandandesigns.com, click on the shop, which will take you to some sweet, sweet stuff via my online Etsy store. Alright, folks, and welcome back. And we have this week's special guest here with us. And of course, we have Mr. Lerod. So, take a little round of applause. Yay, yay, clap. Beautiful. Awesome. So, welcome to the show. And of course, this is This Week Live. So, first off, let's talk about what you're wearing, because that's what I usually talk about when I have furries on my show. So, talk about your getup.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. But this is my pre-made fursuit that I bought from a friend of mine, and his name is Nicola. Nicola the Husky.
Awesome. Seems a lot of people are buying pre-mades. And of course, let's not talk about Alibaba. We talked about the last week. Let's not talk about this week.
Oh,
so no. Those are pre-mades, but those are bad pre-mades. So yes. So tell us about. Oh, I see Nicola. Okay.
Yes, I have a little badge that says Nicola right here. So
this is Nicola.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about Nicola.
Nicola is like an inspiration because I have having a electric personality, kind of like Nikola Tesla. So not to be confused with the car company or automotive or Elon Musk or anyway, but I just love having an electric personality, as you can tell, because I'm like very ecstatic a lot most of the time, and he's just so full of energy that I decided to name him Nicola. That's how I have the personality.
Well, that's pretty cool. Don't worry, we'll talk about Elon Musk here because I do have some questions about Elon Musk. I'll ask you what you think, but we're gonna deviate. So that is awesome.
Yeah,
let the sparks fly, as they say. I love it. So, what gave you the inspiration to be a furry?
The inspiration for me to become a furry was a way for me to express myself in ways that I could never do before because I had depression and I still battle with it today, but not as bad as it was like I want to say like nearly 4 years ago. And I don't want to go into that story as to what happened to me before I discovered the furry community because it started off on YouTube and then I discovered Furry Amino and then it just branched out from there and I love how opening and welcome this community is. Being a furry is that it allows me to be myself where I couldn't before. So people are others that are like me, they can express themselves, and so can I. So I found an outlet for me to express myself and not be a depressive mess that I was before.
Is it fair to say that the large majority of the furry community do have mental disabilities of some sort?
Yes, it can range from simple as autism, because I'm partially autistic. If you want to be more technical, it's Asperger's syndrome. So I have like a certain level of learning that I can do and cannot do, and I feel like I have a bit of OCD, but there's folks that have anxiety, depression, even not just mental but also physical disabilities. But it allows them to be themselves.
Yeah.
And not. It's like a way to mask what they really feel like on the inside, so they can express themselves that they couldn't do before.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, because I do have out there, you guys, I do have what you call a mild case of Asperger's that was diagnosed. Multiple other issues, so I completely understand with Asperger's. That's pretty cool. I think what was the other one? It's not Asperger's, but it's another big one. I can't think, but yeah. So autism. Autism. That's what it is. Autism. Yes. Yeah, that's another big one I see a lot of in the fandom.
Yeah,
because they have like an autism panel, especially at some of the conventions, and the doctors and the scientists try to figure out a way to help people with autistic abilities in the fandom. Especially having quiet rooms where they can calm down and just stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah, because being to some of these various furry conventions, I've seen a lot of panels, and granted, for most of the time, I'm usually out there to socialize and get pictures to capture the memories. Not very often that I go to the panels, but I see panels that really interest me, and I do my best to attend them, so that way I can. And some of these panels can be like those. Alcoholics Anonymous sort of thing, where everybody sits around and then they say why they're here, state their name, why they're here.
Okay.
So stuff like that.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty okay. I can see that. All right. Yeah. So step away from the furry fandom for a moment.
Yes.
You like cars. You're big into automotive. Especially automotive cars and all that. So let's just say what got you into this whole aspect of cars. And no, not the Disney movie. And no, we're not trying to get ourselves banned on here. But cars, because
No.
cars don't have smiley faces and move around and like,
No,
let's fill our tanks up with oil. No. Cars.
No. Cars, because I have a passion for vehicles and I love working with my hands. I can do a lot of things on cars. I can fix almost roughly majority of a lot of things on cars, ranging from like changing your brakes, changing your oil in your cars, even diagnosing a lot of things, because I love working with my hands and I love working with machines.
Yeah.
It really is a way for me to work and do things that I really have a passion for. Is I will say, when I hear or see any kind of like problems with cars, I start to cringe. It's so bad, especially when I hear squealing brakes. That's what really irks me.
So, what's the cringiest thing you've actually had seen on a car? Because you work with cars. So.
Yes, the cringiest and worst thing that I've ever seen is I saw someone had such really, really bad brakes. Caliper on the driver front was so bad and so locked up that it was like that it grinded down the whole rotor to where there's like no pad, and the fins of the rotor were exposed. So it's like really grinded it down, and I can literally hear it. And when the brakes get down to that point, it's unsafe to drive. And I'm surprised this person was driving on that.
I think the cringiest I've seen is that someone I know. He didn't change his oil for a while in the truck, and he basically says he's supposed to change the oil, and someone actually changed it for him, and it came out almost like chocolate, melted chocolate.
Yeah, that's known as engine sludge.
Yeah, that's basically when you say, okay, forget about changing the oil. Now you may have an engine problem, but no, luckily it wasn't his truck, so it was all good. But still, you should know when to change your oil. That's a big no-no.
Cars nowadays, they have maintenance reminders like saying maintenance required, especially on Hondas and Toyotas, for example. Even Chevrolets do, even GM vehicles do that. You would say, like, oil change due, or oil maintenance required soon. Because I drive a Toyota Prius, and don't judge me because I drive a Prius. Because I hear it's the internet's hated car. But hear me on this, is that it gives me reminders as to when the oil change is due, and I do my own work on my own cars. Because I'm sure everybody out there has gotten those phone calls saying, extend your warranty on your car? And I'm like, no.
Extend your warranty on your car? Of course, no. Yeah, no, I would never make fun of a Prius. And you shouldn't either. The fact that if you had Prius in NASCAR, it'd be... you would hear nothing.
Yeah, well, practically.
Yeah, it's like, there goes Dale Earnhardt Jr. Exactly. No. We'd never make fun of Prius. But I'm talking about cars.
Yes,
recently,
in general.
not too long ago, I think it was like a few weeks ago, they talked in the news that California is going to be the first state to actually get rid of, by 2021, all gas vehicles. So you can't purchase any new gas vehicles. All cars have to be either hybrid or electric.
Wow.
What's your take on that? Because California wants to be the first state to be all eco-friendly. But that means their gas price is $3 to $4 a gallon. So,
yeah, they're trying to. And my take on that, and honestly, this is the first time I'm hearing about that. But my take on that is, it's actually good for the economy, because any vehicle that is registered in California, they have to abide by the California state emissions. Otherwise, any other state, you have to go through federal emissions. But state of California, that does make perfect sense, because they've in the past they've had those smog problems.
Got it.
So so having hybrids or electric cars is really a good step forward for them to eliminate or reduce overall emissions. I mean, you still have the factories and refineries and all that in that state, but still, the fact that moving over to electric now that the technology is readily available for us to make cars that are very fuel efficient to the point where even if they do have gasoline, they would get as much as like 50 miles per gallon or more.
Yeah.
So that's what what my Prius, even though with my driving habits, I average like 40, 45, but I can get anywhere from like 300 to 400 miles to a full tank of gas.
Wow.
So think of that perspective.
That's
Granted,
impressive.
the battery in my Prius, which is not the plug-in type, the battery's not cheap. It's like at least $1,000 for the battery itself. But it's a good thing to do if you ever have any problems. But they're designed to last an extremely long time, especially if you use it like it's supposed to be used.
Yeah. That's cool. And that brings us on to Elon Musk with his Tesla company, or what does he call it now? SpaceX?
Yes.
He has SpaceX and Tesla. So with Elon Musk, of course, he's trying to step away from Tesla. He did send that car to space, so there's a Tesla floating around playing a song on loop with an astronaut. But that was kind of his way of saying, we're going to start SpaceX. He started SpaceX. He just had his second launch this past weekend, and it was successful. This few weekends ago, it was successful, and they sent 4-man team up to space. So.
Yeah, actually, they did. It was most recent. I think the launch was either Monday or yesterday.
Yeah, it was very successful.
Yes.
I mean, so what's your intake about this whole Tesla revolution? I guess what you want to call it.
My take on the Tesla, because me personally, I have last year about this time, I took a test drive of the Tesla Model 3 and I will say I was completely blown away with the performance, the smoothness of the ride, and they have something really going for them, and especially with the battery range, because I'm seeing a lot more charging stations, public charging stations, pop up in various shopping centers, or in general. There's a lot of charging stations popping up, including Tesla superchargers. So, but then it's. I'm wondering if that's going to really impact the electrical grid, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to be doing improvements to all that to allow and accommodate for such demand for charging vehicles.
Well, this is not charging. I think their first vehicle was the first one to make it to the public with autonomous driving, which you don't really have to touch the wheel and it will drive for you. But
Right.
as Tesla said in the news, they had a few accidents, especially the few models with autonomous driving, where people were just like, "Oh, I don't have to sit. I can just sit back, relax.
Yes,
I can just do what I wish." Yeah.
They still require the driver's full attention. So, because I heard about this one accident, and he was watching a movie on his iPad, and he was at the steering wheel, in the autonomous mode, and he was driving on the highway, and he rear-ended a police cruiser of all things.
Yeah.
I heard about that story. I'm like, really? It's all because I saw a meme recently that says that the common sense is going extinct because everybody these days lack common sense.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how to take care of your own car. I mean, when I take in cars for AAA, it's because I work in a garage and I love working in a garage. When I take in cars and I hear and I see something that is like an utmost safety thing, when they're there for an oil change, we tell them, hey, your car needs tires, or hey, your car needs brakes because it's grinding. And they're like, oh no, I'll get it done elsewhere. I'm like, okay, this car is technically unsafe to drive, and if you were to be in an accident and your car has mechanical problems, you're going to be the one at fault. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, that is very true.
That is. So, if you could leave one thing for people out there that say, well, I don't like cars, I don't know much about cars, just something that you can tell the people out there, just simple know-hows, something that they should be reminded, because we do have winter coming, especially with winter just around the corner.
Yes. One thing that I would say is winterize your car. Make sure you have good wiper blades, good headlights, and take it to your local mechanic to make sure that it's ready for winter and that it's ready for whatever life can throw at it, especially with good tires. Because the last thing you want to do is fishtail around a bend. Believe me, that is not a pleasant sight. I've seen so many accidents involving people in the snow and in bad weather conditions where they just think that they're driving on wet roads when it really isn't, when it's snow covered. That is not a good thing to see. Trust me, I've seen my fair share of accidents involving people spitting out. My mom lived in Montana, and I've learned quite a bit of driving on how she handles the snow, because they get tons of snow up in the mountains. So I know how to drive in bad weather conditions.
Well, that's good. Well, I do appreciate you being on the show. With us again is Nicola. So let's just thank Nicola for being on the show. And of course, if you wish to follow Nicola or check some things out, I'll have some information below. But for now, we'll be back, folks.
We're all jotting down the names, and you were on the edge of your seats even though you were standing. And when I was done, you guys all scurried off and you went out and you found all these places and stuff. I just thought, that's great, they're into it. They're into it.
I'm Thomas Jefferson. How are you?
Knocker store here. This is the Knocker store. And right next to the Knocker store, interestingly enough, we have a bra shop. That's really weird.
You're watching This Week Live with Rocky Red Panda, only on PND Studios. Make sure to like and subscribe. And we're back, folks. We're going to go straight into a segment we call the Artist of the Week. All right, and this week's Artist of the Week is an artist by the name of Sergey. So before we get into the formalities and all this fun stuff, let's check out the art. Oh, okay, I see. This is an Animal Crossing theme. I love it. Fish! Oh. Oh my God. Composure. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, you have to be an Animal Crossing fan to get this. This is amazing. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's unique. I like that. Oh, look, Cookie. C is for Cookie. It's good enough for me. Oh, that's great. So, I'm going to stick on fish. I love this art. Oh, this is great. I love it. Okay, composure. All right. So, I asked the artist simple set of questions. I asked each artist the same set of questions, and they sent me their responses. This is the best way I could get their information out and talk about the art. So, I asked them to tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been an artist. What kind of arts do you create? Well, they responded back by saying they've been doing art since high school. That kind of sounds right for me. That's when I started, actually. I started in middle school. With all that anime craze, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Tenchu Muyo, was it Gundam Wing W? And that's when Toonami was on Cartoon Network in the afternoons. That's right. So, what kind of art do they do? They said digital, anime, furry, My Little Pony, and has been. Now, as you can see, this is just amazing. They also do yaoi. See, yaoi. Don't we all love yaoi? That's right. Let's talk a little bit about Deadpool and Spider-Man. Oh boy. Artists always have fun with that match. But we're not going to go there. So yeah, that's amazing. So what sets you apart from Joe Blow down the street who is doing the exact same thing you do? In other words, why should someone commission you over Joe Blow down the street? Well, their response to that was, well, each artist has their own unique style. I guess my view and style of things. So, how they draw. Oh, my. How they draw their unique style. They're stylized. That's what sets them apart. This is what sets them apart. And all three of these is what sets them apart. I still love that cookie in the mouth. But the use of this is just absolutely beautiful. That dress. Stuff like that. That's what makes you want to hire them. Because they're just unique and they're different. What's one piece of advice you could give to people who are looking to become an artist? Their response was, yes, I have been talking to them via instant messenger, so I do have all of their conversations here because they responded back, and it's pretty cool. They said, practice, keep on drawing, level up, use lots of references and shapes. That is always a good tip when you're drawing. You just don't want to sit here and draw like willy-nilly and go, but using practice makes perfect. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And use references, to kind of get ideas. Get shapes, get patterns, get colors, clothing. That's always important. And hands. People always seem to have trouble drawing hands. But you know what? Give me a second here. We're gonna... Hands, right? People always have issues drawing hands. It's like, let's see. Hands. Stuff like that. Hands. But, oh, now I'm going to be smelling this dry erase marker. Whew. Yeah, that stuff is strong. Don't try that at home, kids. It's not good to try that at home. But yes, reference shapes, stuff like that, Boom. Yep, this practice makes perfect. And if you had to choose, who are your biggest influences in the art world, living or dead? They mentioned Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball Z. I would actually have to agree. He, an amazing artist, an amazing creator, and to come up with that, how many times is Goku gonna fight Vegeta? Gonna fight Frieza and die and come back? The world may never know, but it's just absolutely amazing. Just like my obsession with Dragon Ball Z. I absolutely love Dragon Ball Z. As you can see with my Nintendo Switch game, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yeah, so, quite a session. But, I lastly asked them, are you open for commissions? And they said, yes, they are open for commissions. So, that's someone to definitely check out and commission. Now, we're going to get into the fun part. This is where I like to critique the art. or I critique the artist, from one artist to another. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's do it, shall we? So let's talk about this one right here. We're going to be on a serious level. If I can stop laughing, because this is absolutely hilarious. So first off, you're going to notice the simplistic background. This is usually what we as artists like to call cheating. Instead of us drawing a background, we find a simplistic background that's usually an image that you can use. What is it? Oh, crap. Now it's going to bother me. Yeah, that's going to bother me now. Let me go here. Let me search. Okay. No. Type. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. I had to go to YouTube to look for the word I'm thinking of. Creative Commons. A Creative Commons background. And of course, this is the ground from Animal Crossing. So that is unique and it's different. It's cool. So we as artists, we like to cheat and just use simple backgrounds. Hey, that's okay. I like the strong use. You see the bold outline here? This is the bold outline. It kind of reminds me of, Lichtenstein. Roy Lichtenstein. Boy, my brain's on the brain fart tonight. So that is pretty cool. The patterns, everything. I kind of get that joke. Now this is what I absolutely love. I just love the strong use of color here in the background. Rainbow color, stars, and of course the character. It's subtle, it's beautiful, it goes straight to the point, and you also do have subtle hints of shadow detail. Now this is one of my other favorites. You know, when they asked me to go through all of these arts to critique and have on the show, I chose this one as well. Because look at this dress. This is just a simple pattern, right? It's a simple pattern that you can find, say, anywhere. And it got turned into a dress. I think that is just absolutely gorgeous. And the same with the pinstriping on that suit. Now this one, you do have another simple pattern here of the checkerboard. I think that's well done. And you do have a light, tasteful background. Now the best thing about this is your eyes immediately are driven there. That's your center focal point. And it doesn't take away. It's not too busy. I think it's just well executed. Even down to this little rainbow hair. Now this one. The first thing in my mind, when I looked at it, went to the computer face, and then I noticed the cookie. I noticed the cookie right away. But everything flows. It kind of fits in together. And everything is just absolutely done beautifully. This is just a well thought out artist, and they do amazing work. So again, if you're looking for someone to commission, they are open for commissions. I'll have all the information for this artist linked below. And of course, 2020 has been hard on all of us illustrators and artists out there. So make sure you support your local artists, and especially the artist community online, by commissioning and getting some work done, because it is coming up to close to the holidays. So maybe you can commission an art for a Christmas gift for one of your friends or family. But always make sure to support these artists in these hard times. And of course, this has been the Artist of the Week, Sergey! And all their information will be linked below. Alright, we're going to go into a segment called PND Studio Updates. PND Studio Updates. This week on PND Studio Updates, we're going to catch you up to date with music. Yeah, I said music because we got music coming. Woo! Art, video, and of course, visual productions. So let's start with... how should we do this? Let's start with the art. So, with the art of Panda Numeric Designs, my little illustration, I'm still working on a few things. I say this every week, not much happening. It's null and void, it's sitting there, but once January comes around, I will be preparing for the con season of 2021. So, stick around, I might be producing art in between, but right now, all this takes my precedence. So that moves to videos and PND Studios. So, if you saw this last week, we had a few cool, awesome videos. Of course, on Monday we had the release of another one of these little cool videos, introductions from PND Studios. So, or This Week Live, that was awesome. Mondays and Thursdays they release, so it's cool. It's cool. Tuesday we had an awesome read. We read "Who Is My Neighbor" by Michael Granjnik. That's a cute little book. I absolutely love my reads. And of course, next week we're going to be reading from Bobby Bramble Loses His Brain. That's right. So we got that coming. Wednesday we had a awesome food review. We reviewed Hana over in Hanover. That place is amazing. Really good food. So if you're looking for a good Chinese takeout, Hana of Hanover is the place to go. Now come next Wednesday, we do have another food review coming, so stick around for that. And of course, Sunday we had This Week Live. That was fun. I enjoyed it. That's what every show should look like from now on, with those awesome commercial breaks. Now coming up next Sunday, it's going to be a very special holiday edition of This Week Live. It's our social distance holiday special. We got some live guests. We got some music. We got singing. We got song. We got dance. We got the hullabaloo to celebrate this whole social distance holiday thing. And of course, it's going to be fun. Christmas lights. Fun, fun, fun. I am going to enjoy it, folks. So, it's going to be a 1-hour special just for Christmas. Isn't that cool? So, definitely check that out. And of course, the following Sunday is going to be the last episode of the year 2020. It's going to be our special New Year's celebration episode. So, stick around for that. Can't believe the year's almost over. Wow. And then now moving on to the music part. So where does this music all fit in? Why did I say music? Well, as you know, I am a solo musician. I go under the name of the artist known as. Now, I used to be in a few bands. Just to name a few off the top of my head. Capture the Flags, Tragic String Elegance. Just to name a few off the top of my head that I can think of. But with the artist known as, with next weekend's special holiday show, I recorded some music which will be used in that show, and I'm going to be releasing it via my SoundCloud for your prying ears to listen. It's my social distance holiday special album, and it's going to be cool. And if you guys would like a hand copy, CD, and all the 9 yards, stay tuned, because I may be releasing a select number of those, and anyone that wants a copy, you can go to my Facebook page and just keep an eye out, because it's only going to be a limited number, and you guys will only get a limited number. So once they're gone, they're gone. I'm not making any more. So that is going to be cool. Now moving on to visual productions. So what do we have in the mind of visual productions? Video editing, of course. Photos, of course. We got another wedding we're going to be doing again next year, 2021. I'd like to congratulate Mariah. So we got another friend of ours is getting married. She just got engaged this past week. So congratulations, Mariah. Congratulations. It's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy that. And we may have another wedding, maybe 2 next year. So things to look out forward to. But we'll have to see how 2020 reacts and what's going to happen in 2020. Because right now, everything is in the air. Who knows what 2020 will bring. But there's a lot of things happening, so keep a lookout. And of course, if you're looking to hire a photographer or a videographer, just leave a message, hit me up, and we will get talking. But for now, this has been this week's edition of PND Studio Updates. PND Studio Updates. I would like to thank this week's special guest, Nicola, and of course this week's Artist of the Week, Sergey. Wow, this seems like the Russian episode. Hey! But, and I also want to thank you guys out there. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for being with me since 2017. But for now, this is Rocky Red Panda signing out for this edition of This Week Live. And of course, have yourself a good week. And I will catch you next weekend for our special social distance holiday edition of This Week Live. Till next time, folks. Blind mouse that scares and sells know how to hold a shepherd hook or learn onto it. Oh, hi there, folks. I didn't know you guys are still around. Of course you are. I just want to make sure that you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe for more awesome videos from PND Studios. And now I got the Tetris theme stuck in my head. Oh, this is the... Oh, it seems like a Russian episode. Wow. Oh, boy. I gotta prepare for next weekend's Christmas episode. Holiday edition.